On one hand, a lot of people think that this isn't going to be a competitive matchup. On another hand, I think this can be a very competitive matchup. It just depends on what version of what fighter we see. You got the Cookie Monster. You got Carla Esparza, two-time strawweight champion. She was the inaugural champion of the division. And I got to see her over here in Vegas, man. I got, some merch signed by the champ. Let's go, Carla Esparza. With all that being said, we have another champion in Zhang Weili, who looked dangerous, who is one of, honestly, look, it happened at the tail end of the career, but to put Joanna Champion out the way that she did with the spinning back fist, let's just say a lot of people are thinking Weili is going to make easy work of Carla Esparza. If you were Esparza and you're at the press conference and you say, yeah, Weili, she doesn't scare me. She hasn't done anything that I haven't seen before. I think that Esparza could be talking truth. But what do you make of those words? Is this defense mechanism? Is this I'm going to try to make the best run of the championship while I have it? Or do you think she's truly confident in her game?
Truly confident in her game. I do not doubt that Carla Esparza is, but I don't know about you, Derek. I've never seen anybody put out Joanna Champion like Weili Zhang did. So that's kind of like that right there. That technique, the speed. Weili Zhang presents a very difficult problem coming up for Carla Esparza, especially if she has really started working on or continued, working on that wrestling we've been talking about for the last 3 fights. If I'm not mistaken, it's either 3 or it's 2 fight camps she's now had out of Henry Cejudo's camp. Remind me the name. Fight Ready. Fight Ready. Thank you, Derek. Fight Ready out of Arizona. And she's been grinding, man. Like I said, either 2, 3 fights. I forget which it is. I'm pretty sure it's 3, but don't quote me on it. She's been grinding. She's been working. She's been working that ground game. And if she can come back and literally take the cookies right from the Cookie Monster, put Carla Esparza on her back, man, then I'm just going to be blown away. Because other than that, this is going to be wild. Seeing me personally, I think Esparza is going to be better on the ground. But if Weili can get it done, what do you think, Derek? Are we in for a shock right here?
If Weili can get it done, are we in for a shock?
If Weili can get it done on the ground. If Weili can out-wrestle Carla Esparza.
Yeah, I'd be shocked because that's literally the bread and butter right there. If you can out-wrestle the Cookie Monster, if you can put her on her back and keep her there, it's just like, what monster are we dealing with here with Zhang Weili? Like, you can knock him out on the feet, you can just out-wrestle him, you can do whatever you need to do. It's going to be scary, but this is the thing that truly scares me. Is this a trap game? A lot of people are really predicting. I talk to people, I'm like, hey, so what do you think as far as Weili? They're like, oh, Weili's going to knock her out. That's obvious. I'm like, well... is it? Like, Carla Esparza is legit, and yeah, she's coming off of a very lackluster performance where she gained the title, and what a lot of people saw was a terrible fight. But at the end of the day, she did what she needed to do to win a fight, and that's the same thing as the Adesanya example that I was giving. If Carla Esparza just does what she needs to do to nullify the offense of a Weili Zhang and to put her on her back and just hold her there and win rounds and win points, you keep your title. You go home with the gold. But I think Weili is going to be a little too explosive for that to happen. Here's the question. This is the thing that's been replaying in my mind. When Weili fought Rose Namajunas, right? And not the first one where she got head kicked, KO'd, right? But when she fought her the second time, and you just saw a reserved Weili, a Weili where you're like, you could probably be pressing on the gas a little bit more, and then she basically loses the fight more or less on a takedown in the last minute, or like the last minute of the 5th round. More or less, right? This is, a win is a win is a win. But at the end of the day, do we see that Weili, or is this a new, completely transformed Weili right here?
I'm banking on the new, completely reformed Weili, man, especially after that Joanna fight, and feeling more comfortable with the fight camp, feeling more comfortable with everything that's going on in her life, man. I feel like this is a very scary Weili, and it's what made this pick very, very difficult, man, because I agree with what you were saying on the intro to this one. It's going to be on who shows up better that night. This is one of those fights where I feel like it's the dog of the night is going to win this one. However the chips unfold, man, this is a very scary opponent for Weili, and like I was saying before, if the wrestling can come through, it's going to be a challenge. Now, on the opposite end, can Esparza have enough hand game, have enough head movement, have enough skill on the stand-up to actually get it done against Weili, or is it just going to be blitz game all day? Because Weili, in that blitz game, very, very strong and very hard to stop once she starts getting going. She's that snowball effect kind of fighter. Do you think Carla Esparza can get it done on the hands, or is she just completely wrestling only for this fight?
Best shot is the wrestling, in my opinion. Weili is too explosive, too She's a momentum fighter, man, and that's really it. It just gives me the thought process of Jessica Andrade came out to try to bully Weili in their fight and just got completely out-bullied. I'm not saying Carla Esparza is faint of frame. She's thick, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, for a 115-pounder, I think Weili is she's uber athletic for 115 pounds. I want to see how cardio holds up in rounds 4 and 5. That's what I really want to see. And AJ, I'm just going to make a quick aside before we give our picks. When I saw Carla Esparza in person, obviously I weigh 170 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. She's 115 pounds. She's tiny, man. Like, you looked at her, I was like, oh shit, like you could fucking manhandle me, but you're so small, right? I would love to see what Weili looks like in person, just because when they sized each other up, I was like, huh. I can't tell. Like, Weili looks a little bit bigger, but they look comparable. Either way, it's going to be a fun fight, but I'm going to have to do something that I don't want to do. Carla Esparza, if you're watching this, I'm a humongous fan. I'm a ginormous fan. But fandom doesn't win me that belt that I'm trying to take home. So I'm going Zhang Weili and New. Give me the TKO. Give me the plus 135 TKO prop. I just want to be clear here. I don't think this is going to be a TKO in the sense of she sparks her, boom, knocked out, right? I think this is going to be she puts it on her and Carla Esparza cannot respond effectively in time and they stop the fight. TKO, not a KO, right? Over and under 4.5 rounds. And I'm actually, I guess I'm rocking with the favorite. I'm rocking with the under right here, man. Give me like a round 3 TKO Weili. How you see it?
Ooh, Derek, I can't fault you, brother. I've been going back and forth for this fight so many different times, man. But I'm sticking true to the prediction I gave you for you good folks last week. I'm rocking with Carla Esparza, and I'm going by decision. I think she's going to put it on the back, literally just sit there, gain points, gain rounds all day long, get up 3-0, maybe put it on the gas, or maybe just put it right back down on the ground. Either way, I'm thinking we're seeing a Carla Esparza decision. I like that plus 500. It's good money. And look, underdog, plus 280, even if you want to put it on the money line right there, plus 280 is a good deal for a Carla Esparza champion all day long. But me, I'm going with that plus 500 decision. It's going to be a fun fight, man. And God, don't get me wrong, Weili's got me worried on this one, folks. This one is going to be a banger of a fight. Crazy to see that it's this whole card stacked, by the way. But just this one's going to be exciting, even if it is just a hunt fest from Esparza, because then I'll be happy winning all day long.
Absolutely. And listen, those are your 2 championship fights, so we wanted to spend the most time on those going back and forth. Carla Esparza is a dog. Weili is a dog. And whoever's the biggest dog will reign supreme that night. Shout out to that one. Brother.